Hello, it's Leila, your edible gardening teacher. Last October, I ran a 3-hour workshop for teachers with no gardening experience, how to teach your students how to grow food. I have cut this 3 hours of workshop into bite-sized video pieces, and I'm putting them on my YouTube channel for very busy educators like yourself so that you can watch every little piece on your own time and learn. I hope that you find these videos helpful and I hope that you enjoy them. This is the 4th of these video series. I specifically put these here to show you that you don't need a garden. Now, garden soil, like space, a lot of space. You can do lots of things, like we did a lot, like my whole 10-hour spring program, we only worked with these. And we went through it and we did have a lot of harvest as well. This is another one. And fences like this, if it's not exactly attached to a play area that the kids would come and hit to the wall, you can use that to grow up for a vertical garden. Things like cucumbers and peas and beans, we can train them to go up that. Yes.
Sorry, I can see that you made it on a parking lot. Mm-hmm. Does the heat of the car affect the plants?
This is actually west facing, and it did get a lot of way too much sunlight, and that's very important. When you have concrete and asphalt, that heats it up even more. So it's more the heat of the asphalt and the concrete that was a problem rather than the heat of the cars. And this is a school, and there's not a lot of there's certain times of day that you have a lot of cars passing by, and during the rest of the day you don't get a lot of cars. But in terms of the heat, yes, this school had to water their plants a lot more than the other schools, like even more than this one. You still have some concrete, and this was south facing. But because of the asphalt and the concrete and the west facing during the afternoon, we had to water these a lot more than these.
Are they plastic containers?
These are plastic containers, yes.
They would require a lot more water.
Less than clay. Less than clay, because clay gives away a lot of the moisture. But they do get hot a little bit. So the heat that they trap does evaporate a lot of the water. So think about your sun. So the sunny, here the sites are better for most of the plants. Water access. Think about your water access. Where is your water? Because you need to water the plants. If you can put your site close to a hose, or a rain barrel. If you have rain barrels, that's wonderful. That's another whole aspect of things that you can teach the kids about. And water and rain barrels. But don't put your garden, like sun is much more important than the water access. You can work around the water. If the water is way away from you, you need to know that in terms of planning, because you want to make sure that you do have watering cans. And you have the good size of watering cans depending on what you want to do. So if it is you who's going to be doing the watering, then bigger watering cans would be better. But if you're planning to take the kids to do the watering, then maybe many smaller watering cans. So think about that. Plan about it. What do you want to do with that? Think about your water. But sun is more important. If you have close to water but there's no sun, you won't have success. But if there's sun and you're not close to the water, you can work around the problem with the water. Away from the playgrounds, very important. Don't put it somewhere that, as I said, kids get a lot of no already. That's way too much. and you don't want the garden to become another one of those things that you keep 10 kids don't. Because they play with balls, you know, and they run around, and they get excited when they run around and they're let go free. So the little ones, the kindergarten ones, as soon as they see soil, it reminds them of sandboxes. We're still not there yet, you know. They go with shovels and whatever they can find, and you could have your seeds seeded. There's nothing growing there, so they don't know that they're not supposed to disturb the soil, and they go in it. And so make sure it's away from the playground, but it is good to have it somewhere that the parents can see, because you need the parents' support. Like even in public schools, like especially in private schools, but even in public schools, it's always better if the parents get excited about your garden. So if you put it somewhere very, very far in a corner that nobody ever sees, you don't get excitement. And when it comes to community and getting support and help from the community, that plays a huge role. For the schools that are not around during summertime, can you raise your hand if you do run a summer program in your school? Okay, not that many people. Okay, so that's another problem that is brought up usually by the principals. Like, no, I don't want to put a garden because I'm not here during summer. So who's going to take care of that? Community. So get the parents excited. Put your garden somewhere the parents see. A lot of them, you will be surprised. A lot of them are very excited about vegetable gardens. And if they see it, they come and they talk to you, and they're like, then you can talk to them and say, are you around during summertime? Like, can you help us watering? If they're not going away for the whole summer, 1 or 2 families, if they have access to the environment, to your garden, they can come around and do the watering for you. And we're going to talk about it a little bit more. But put it somewhere that the parents see, away from the playground and in front of the parents, and in a sunny spot. It's getting complicated, but you know what I mean. Start your seedlings indoors, so we're talking about where. Again, south or west facing windows are perfect, so plan for that. Mirrors and bright colored walls can help you. Cold frames, floating row covers, and transparent plastic covers if you don't have any space indoors, then you can start your seedlings outdoors covering them, depending on what you want to plant, obviously. Okay, this, when to prepare your annual garden, again, you don't need to have a garden in the ground. There's ways you can have raised beds and containers. I have prepared in total 10 videos for you. This was number 4. Number 1, 2, and 3 can be found on this very YouTube channel. Make sure that your email is on the update list so that every time that I release one of these videos, you get notified. And I will see you very soon.